Assalamu alaikum, greetings, and welcome to the Munir Muhammad Show. Brothers and sisters, I'm your host, Jamil Muhammad, and we are streaming live. And if you'd like to participate in this evening's conversation, please give us a call at 773-434-6625. We have a very exciting show for you today, brothers and sisters, but before I introduce our guests, I'd like to remind you to please follow us on our social media platforms, which include Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And please go to our YouTube page, click the like and the subscribe buttons so you'll be notified whenever we post a show. I'm so excited about our guest today, brothers and sisters. He's someone who is doing something that is dear to my heart. He is our friend and brother, the founder of Mr. Dad's Fathers Club, our brother Joseph Williams. How are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing tonight?
All right. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me today. I appreciate it.
You know, want to begin by saying just the name Mr. Dad's Fathers Club. You know, I think when I say it's dear to my heart, of course, you know, I was blessed to have a strong relationship with my father, Brother Munir Muhammad. And of course, I enjoy having relationships with my sons as well. And I understand how important fathers are, and even if it can be your biological father, those who provide mentorship and support and things like that. And now it's more critical than ever. So I want to salute you, first of all.
Thank you.
By doing that. But I just want to turn it over to you for a moment and let you just introduce yourself to the people.
Well, absolutely. Well, again, I'm Joseph Williams, founder and executive director of the Mr. Dad's Fathers Club. No, this organization was created to help get fathers actively involved in their children's lives through mentoring and literacy. So, I think one thing that you said just in the beginning is how important it is to have fathers in their children's lives. So when we started this program, I didn't even know this program would pick up and do so much good work that it's doing. When I started this, it was honestly because I didn't have my father as much involved in my life. So I knew I wanted to be there for my children. But then I said, we got to take it past my children. How can I be there for more children, even help more fathers do the same exact thing? So we started coming into schools and reading books to children and mentoring children. And it's just turned out to be something that's like really amazing. You know, I mean, these babies, you would never think it, but when you go into these classrooms and you see black men, people that look like them, positive male role models, sitting there reading books to them that's talking about boosting the self-esteem, boosting the confidence, and telling them that they could be anything they want to be in life. It's just something just amazing. Then now we've added on a mascot. So right after we read the books, we surprise the children with a mascot. He comes in and dance and play with the kids. But it's just something that's really positive, and it really helps just build that interaction and build that relationship with children and positive men and fathers just overall.
How have you found it to impact the men and the fathers? And I ask that because many times, many of us may not know the power of our gift.
Absolutely.
And how we would impact it. We may think, no one want me to read them. But how have you seen your program affect some of the fathers?
You know, I hear it all the time. I hear fathers tell me all the time, man, Joe, if I didn't meet you and had a chance to be a part of your program, I don't know what I would be doing. Or I never knew that me reading a book, these kids would have reacted this way. I was nervous before I read this book, and now they making me want to read even more. But I meet so many great fathers and men that say how much this program has actually changed their life. And I think one thing about it is that it's not a playbook on how to be a good father or just how to be a dad. So a lot of this we learn off experience at times. So to have this program, you know, and within the last 2 years, we've added a fatherhood piece. So now we have fatherhood sessions where we mentoring and working with fathers. So we giving fathers that chance to say, hey, it's about the time you're spending with your babies more than anything, that quality time. You don't have to have a lot of money to make an impact. Making sure you look at the actions that you're doing in front of your children. Showing them how you got museums and restaurants and all these places that you can go out to for free or just to have a good time with your baby. So, you know, ultimately, the fathers are very appreciative of the program, and I'm thankful to have so many great men around me.
You know, you mentioned the fatherhood piece. And I think that's essential for what you're doing, because so many of us may not know what that criteria is, what to look like, and then we may feel inadequate based on the relationships and things like that, and then we remove ourselves because we may not feel, I may not have enough money, I may not be successful enough, and things like that. But it's the substance of what you can give to that child that makes a difference.
Absolutely. Like, that's why I love the program. I love this program so much because if you're a father or you're a positive man or you're just a man and you're looking for a way to tap into getting involved or getting involved in your children's lives or however it works, right? We're providing that opportunity. A lot of men are out here and they want to make a difference. I was one of them guys who didn't have a lot of direction, but I knew I wanted to do something to make a difference and make an impact. And now we're providing that outlet to these fathers where they're coming in and they're interacting with these children and they're hearing children say, my dad passed away, or I don't have my father. Or you hear just recently, as of yesterday, you heard children say, this was the best day of my life, and you get a chance to have these interactions, and it motivates you. I know it motivates me. It makes me understand even more why we do the work that we're doing. A lot of this work is free, but it's so dear to the heart because our babies are the future. And if we don't instill in them now and catch them while they're young and show them there's so many routes to success and how they can make a positive impact in their lives, I think we'd do no good if we don't tap in right now. I'm a strong believer in being proactive about things. Like, we catch these babies while they're young. We got a chance at changing the mindset and molding them, so then we don't have to worry about them not being able to express themselves or let their feelings out or handle their problems and things. We're dealing with it right now, so it's less likely they're going to go join a gang. It's less likely they're going to go and find things to get into that's just not good. We're providing them with the resources now to provide them that opportunity for a bright future.
And I think that when you have that interaction, it could be such a catalyst and a springboard to more, not only for the father but the child.
Absolutely.
Because once you get a taste of that success, and really it's to feel loved, man, and to feel appreciated.
Absolutely.
It makes a difference in how you're motivated and what you can do. Let me ask you this. At what point, in the beginning, what inspired you to go down this path?
You know what? And I don't always talk about the story a lot, but I'll tell you, it took for me, and I'm a strong believer in you can't play two sides. Because I tried to go to school, and I still was hanging outside with my friends, and just one day just made a bad decision, and that decision ended me up in jail. And for me going to jail, it's not like I sat there for a long time, but just a little bit of time that I was there, I realized how much I missed my family. I realized how much this is just what I didn't want to do with my life. So when I got out, I realized I just had to do something different. And my first opportunity that was at my footstep was going into my children's school and volunteering. I was just volunteering, doing lunchroom duty, making a difference, getting to know babies and helping them out, realizing who needs seconds for lunch, and just being there just to support them. And my daughter's teacher asked one day while she was trying to grade papers, can I just watch the classroom for her? I read a book to the class. I'm not a huge reader, but I read a book and took a shot at it, and the children loved it, and they wanted me to come back every week. And it went from me coming every week to other fathers picking their children up and saying, hey, what is this y'all got going? Is this a program or something? No, it's just me reading books, but you come in here and join me if you want to. And they come in, and then before you know, we got 20 fathers on a weekly basis coming in to just read books to children. And eventually I sat down with the principal and I said, man, we got to call this something. We dads, we fathers, put it all together, say Mr. Dad's Fathers Club. And, and again, ever since we started this, I'm just proud to see the impact that it's making. We just became a nonprofit actually 2 years ago now. And, I'm just proud to see the work that's happening with our organization.
Man, I'm smiling listening to you because I'm visualizing what that's like. So often now, the narrative that they paint with our children, even at the youngest ages, are that they're undisciplined or criminals or something like that starting that track. But I do know when you see the innocence, especially in a black child, how pure and innocent and how inspiring it is before the environment and circumstances begin to, take a hold of them. But if you could establish that connection early, it can make such a difference because the innocence of a child's laughter.
Absolutely.
You know, you can see that future. You can see yourself. You mentioned that you all, you know, inspired them to say that they could be anything that they apply themselves. Right?
Absolutely.
And how important is establishing or making sure that they have that hope or their belief that they could do something if they set their mind to it?
Yeah, it's very important. You know, I wrote a book called My Daddy Is. My daughter came in the room one day and she said, "My daddy is me." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "That's some deep stuff you talking about there. What are you talking about?" And believe it or not, within 2 weeks, I put together a children's book for the preschool up into the kindergartens, and I said, "We're gonna call this book My Daddy Is Me." And every picture shows your father being a policeman, a barber, a community activist, a firefighter, and you see he's a teacher. You see your dad being all these things, and ultimately at the end, you see a reflection of you again, showing that your daddy is you, and it's still showing that it's really highlighting a father in a lot of good roles, but it's also motivating children to even be more like their fathers and to be something that's positive in life, you know. So I just think it's important overall. You know, a lot of folks, we wait till it's too late and we go violence interruption. Well, this is violence interruption at a very early stage. Before we can even think about the violence, we're already tapping in with these babies, telling them, and we've seen it change. We've seen schools move to a level 1 school that's congratulated us because of our program. We've seen children's attitudes change. Where you had children who once you called them ugly, they'll turn around and hit the other kid. Now, they know who they are. They don't have to fight no more. They don't have to argue about it no more. So I think that's the best thing about it, is changing that mindset and making them realize you are beautiful. It don't matter if you got a big nose, big ears, wild hair. You are who you are, and you are a great person. And the more that our children can feel good about themselves, ain't nothing else nobody can do about it.
Did we? How long have you had the organization?
So our organization now, this is our 4th year doing our Father's March. So we've been around about 4.5 years now.
4.5 years.
4.5.
And I know we're going to talk about it more, but you do have an event coming up on Sunday. June 19th, right?
On Father's Day. We do a big event every year for the community and just for our fathers, to recognize our fathers who are playing their part, and just to bring families together. You know, ultimately, it's about family. One thing that we realize that we're missing in our communities is the family. And we can build these families back together, then we think we have also a better chance at a future with our communities and our babies. So ultimately, this event is going to play that role where we march for peace and unity in the community, and we have a good day. So it's an ice cream truck out there, and the bouncy houses, and the photo booths, and performances, and it's all free. We do this event completely free every year for the entire community. Usually we get 200 or more folks to come out. This year, we have a lot of donations, so we're giving out shoes and clothes and Nike and Jordan bags. They donated a lot of things to us, so we just want to make sure folks come out and have a great time.
You know, and I know you started in the school. What was the feedback like from the teachers, the administrators in the schools, seeing that? So.
You know, when we started in the schools, the first thing they said was, we need more men in the schools. And the feedback has just been a very just heartfelt and heart-pouring feedback for our program, letting us know that they are very thankful that we are partnered with them and that we're doing the work. We got a lot of schools, before we can even end the school year, right now they're like, we need to book you guys one more time before these babies leave, because they need to see y'all again. You know, so it's just a great thing. We get a nice feedback from the schools, but then also beyond the schools, we go to the park districts, we go to the libraries, we go right to the corner of your neighborhood. We have pop-up events where we'll do the taste on 63rd Street. I say, you know what? Everybody might can't afford the Taste of Chicago. We're going to pay food trucks to come on 63rd, and we're going to let everybody get some tickets, and they're going to get taste of different food right here for free. So we do a lot of pop-up events where we just gave away last month over 100,000 diapers. We had 2 trucks pull up with the donors, and we just opened the trucks up and gave away boxes of diapers to anybody who needed them. So we continue to do pop-up events because we want to stay alert and aware of what's going on in our communities, and making sure that we're providing them with not even just free things, but also resources to connect to as well. So, you know, this organization, again, is just doing a lot of great work, but we're making sure that we stay active. We have our Scoops and Dads events where fathers can come out and get scoops of ice cream, and the children can get books read to them, and we can just continue to promote positive events like this to just make some type of a difference, you know.
You know, and I love the fact, you know, I applaud everybody doing something in our communities, of course, but, you know, many times it's centered on athletics and sports and things like that. So for you all to start off with reading, you know, you incorporate a lot of things in there, but I think that adds value too. And tell me, what for you, in your observation, does it help? Because sometimes, you know, when you get the relationship with the child, it you know, kind of calms you down a little bit, makes you revisit things. Does it help maybe bridge certain gaps with relationships with certain parents or with the mothers or things like that?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. We have fathers that come in that may not have that relationship with the other parent, but then you start to see relationships develop because you're seeing the father in a role that you didn't see him in before. Right. You're seeing him now. He's making a difference. He's making an impact now. So you know, it does a few things. You know, ultimately, you know, really what I would like to do one day with this program is get funding so I can actually provide stipends for my fathers. Because if the fathers are coming in and they're making a difference in their children's lives and we see the impact it's making on them, we should be able to support those fathers and compensate them as well for their time. And I think this can help them take back money where they can feed their families. So it works full circle when it comes together at some point. So I want to be able to compensate fathers for their time as well. And I think that may even help other men who are looking for things to do and to make a little money. Now you can come do something positive and make some money.
And you just not, you know, like I say, a client, you're the president because you have, what, 6 children?
I got 6 children. So everything I'm talking about and doing is coming directly from my home. You know, I'm preaching and doing exactly what I'm talking about. You know, I got 6 children myself. 4 girls and 2 boys. Have an amazing wife that supports everything I'm doing while I'm here now. She's there with my children, helping me out here. So, you know, I cannot ask God for not a better family than I have. And I think that it's so important that we instill great qualities in our children. Because even my children, they won't let me ride past someone that's homeless without stopping to give them money, to encourage them to do something. They stand back and hold the door for folks all day. They do these different things that I'm teaching them because I want them to know how to just always have respect and just how to treat people good, because it goes a long way when you can treat people good, you know. So just instilling the qualities in my children, but also taking them out there so they can see the good work as well. I need them on the front side so they can be able to see what the work looks like. And I'm just proud to, again, do the work and have my family a part of it. And know I have a supportive family. I remember going through those times where we went through some very hard times coming up. And I'm using those hard times to give me my push for what I'm doing. I'm using these children and their stories to give me my push. You know, we can have a lot of programs that might read books to kids, or you might want to duplicate it, but you can't duplicate it without this energy that I got that's coming with this program. We coming with a whole new thing. You know, we got the mascot and we got the other things that we're coming with these babies, and we're putting programs that used to just read to children, we doing it times 20 now. And we bumping it up so much to, again, children are saying, but my book reading from yesterday, we got kids talking, this is the best day of my life. And all we did was came in and read some books to them. But we did it with a nice spin that made it all welcome in and just a friendly thing for everybody.
Well said. Let's go to the line. Caller, you on the air. Go ahead with your question or comment.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Jamil.
Well, alaikum salam, Sister Martha.
And greetings to your guests. I'm thoroughly enjoying the show. He mentioned something about funding. I would suggest that he contacted Neighborhood Opportunity Fund and start with his aldermen, because his programs sound like something that would be great, and the city would be very supportive in giving him that opportunity, and they have a lot of dollars that are available to him. I did want to also say about his reading program, I think that's great, and the enthusiasm that children have is when they see people that look like us.
Right.
And we know in the school system, there's a drought on the black man, and there are no black, very few black teachers, and even fewer black male teachers or any type of role models in there. So I know what he is saying and the impact he's having on the young men in there. Actually, just to see his presence has to be something great. What I want him to address, just this is my question. We're now entering into the summer. What does he expect to be occurring? They passed the curfew, so that's going to give us 1 extra hour of peace, I think. And if he can speak on that, I'd appreciate that. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sister.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that question, Queen. It's a great question. It's funny you asked that because I'm called to a press conference Friday with the school system and City Hall to talk a little bit about the summer, and what can we do? And I'll tell you one thing, we're going to, as an organization, we're going to continue to do the work that we're doing. But ultimately, what we want to connect to is other organizations doing similar work, and we want to find a way to bring folks together. We don't want this summer to be another summer where we see the number of killings and violence in our city continue to rise. We want to find a way, if you have a church, we need the churches to be open on the weekends. Open that gym up so we can get some of these young people in there to go play basketball. We want to make sure if you have an organization, we're working together. We're not just in silos doing the work. We're finding a way to connect, put on events together. One thing that me and other great organizers are talking about is how can we put on maybe a youth benefit concert where we get celebrities and folks to come out and perform for the youth. You have all the organizations out there supporting them so we can show them our youth is not everything that you say they are. They actually are, just want to have a good time, and sometimes they need just a little guidance with it. So even when we see the youth going downtown, we're putting together more of a plan to support the youth. Not all the youth going down there to just act out. A lot of the youth want to they can't do it right here in their communities. They have to go across gang areas and all these different things. They want to go somewhere safe that they believe is safe where they can enjoy themselves. So ultimately, we got to be able to tap in with these babies and say, hey, what can we do? You need a little music, you need some food. And then we got to be able to also point out the agitators and say, hey, if you guys are just coming down here to be destructive, well, then you need to just go ahead and come up out of here. Just turn yourself in right now. If you're just coming down here and do something you don't need to be doing. But ultimately, these babies, this is their Chicago. The Chicago is everybody. And we shouldn't just be restricted to downtown when we're talking about the curfew. I see what the mayor is trying to do, but I think we got to have better solutions than just policing our ways out of things and just putting curfews. That curfew does nothing but put those children at another location downtown, wherever else they choose to go. We actually got to be intentional about the planning that we're doing when we're talking about our youth, when we're talking about going into the summer, making sure that we really have these resources open. So even they have a My Shot, My Future app going on where children are supposed to tap in to go to programs and do these different things. Even with that, I recommended to the mayor's office that maybe you add an Uber voucher to that. Maybe you do something where now they don't have to get on a bus and train and have to walk to these areas. They can catch an Uber straight there. So at least we know that they're getting there at least somewhat safe, So we just got to be more intentional about the planning that we're doing. Our organization with the Mr. Dad's Fathers Club, we're going to continue to host community events to curb the gun violence. We're going to continue to get our men involved and do as much as we can do for these babies. We won't take a break. We're going to go full out all the way through the summer, going all the way back into the fall. We won't stop. We're going to do our part. We're making sure that we are here to help. But I think it's just a great question because it's very important that organizations start to work together for the betterment of our people. If you ain't working together, then we ain't doing nothing for real. Right. You can't just do it with your selective people that you want to do things with. You have to be open-minded and say, you know what? Our babies are more important than all of this. Let's put some things to the side and figure out how can we now work together and put together some real programming for these babies.
Well, and I think building on Sister Marta's point, I know she talked about the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund, but she mentioned also we're coming up on election season. Our children will become a political component in this.
Absolutely.
Particularly in how they police our children. You'll have people that give you accolades on what you're doing, but I think it's important to tie them into the solution as well. You know, you've seen the narrative change in the last 2 years coming out of the incident with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and all the social unrest. They talked about going to the root causes of some of these things. But in Chicago, you see a narrative now, just get everybody, lock them up and do that no matter what. And so undoubtedly there is a problem, but the narrative has switched publicly without us even getting a chance to really get any tangible momentum on that. And so for you to continue with your messaging, to hold the line, and since you're seeing these results, what is some of your message do you say to the elected officials? Because they have to come for the photo ops for you, brother. You know, they have to come with you. But what would you tell them in order to not bow to necessarily the mindset of just criminalizing every job, but stay in the course and try to find programs or things that help with the root cause of these things?
Absolutely. You know, I'm a strong believer in everyone has to be held accountable. That's including me, that's including parents, community members, elected officials. Everyone has a part to play with. Everyone has to be held accountable for their actions. You know, a lot of our elected officials have to understand this is not a McDonald's job. It's not a 9 to 5 where you just come in and you just work and you leave and go back home and you keep getting paid. They have to be very intentional about the communities that they serve and see how they can better the people, listen to the people. So yeah, we can't lock ourselves up, we can't lock our way out of these situations, but if I have the opportunity to talk to some of the elected officials that I talk to, I have to always just emphasize you know, where we once was when we were young. And understanding that and really pushing more for people. We have to put people before politics and not just look at the dollar at times. A lot of folks let the dollar control the narrative. We have to be, somebody got to step up and say, hey, I'm going to all these park districts. I don't see a lot of basketball rims like I used to no more. I see more soccer fields, but I don't see a lot of basketball rims. Well, somebody got to step up and say, hey, we need some of this stuff for these children to be able to come to the park and play. You know, so the elected officials have a very key role to play. You know, and for me, I wish when elected officials made bad votes and they did certain things that they shouldn't do, they couldn't come back to those communities, you know, because there's no way you should be able to serve so many people when you're not making decisions about what's in the best interest for them. You know, I can't build and put a multi-million-dollar high school somewhere, and then for children to attend that high school, they have to cross all of these gang turfs to get there. You have to just be intentional about the work you're doing, and these elected officials all should have councils. Every last one of them need an advisory council that's set up with community members and parents. Everybody should be on these boards, and they should be advising these elected officials on things they should do, because now you're getting the word from the community. A lot of these elected officials are making decisions on their own, and some of them stay right on the skirts of the areas that they serve. So they really not in the community at all, so they really don't have a feel for what's happening. So, you know, I'm just going to continue to encourage our elected officials to do the right thing, go beyond the money, think long term. Think not just for the right now, but how can we think long term? Because if you think long term and past the right now you might can get some good money and you can do some things and rub some elbows. But when you think long term, you are actually setting up a system for people to thrive in and to build and to come together and continue to go, because it's only so long that it works on the right now scale. That right now scale will have you out of a job real quick. It don't take number one time and that's it. So you have to just think past the right now. And if our elected officials can do that, and believe me, not all the bad, we got a lot of good ones, you know. Jeanette Taylor, she raised me as a young man coming up, or the old COCO organization. I was around during that time. I remember fighting for them schools when they were closing down the 50+ schools. I like Commissioner Bill Lowry a lot. Commissioner, he's just authentic. He's about the work, you know, so I see a lot of great folks that are politicians that are doing the work. And even on the organization side, I see a lot of good people, but we need more of them, you know. We need folks like me into the system, people who are scared to enter politics because they don't think they know a lot about it. We need the people who come right from within these communities, because you can only serve the community really if you come from it, because you know what you need to fix in your community. But you can't fix it if you're coming from all these other areas and you're coming to serve, even with the police department. Yeah, they coming from the suburbs and everywhere. The only thing they see is what they see on the news. So when they come into the community, they only have a response for us. They don't know how to build relationships. And we have to put something in place where when these new officers are coming in, it's mandatory that they meet these nonprofits and these churches and they build a certain amount of hours and relationships. So you can see if you even want to work in this community. You need to come in and put some work in before you can really come work in, you know?
Well said, bro. I'm gonna go and take a break because they're gonna draft you to run for office in a minute. So, hold on. Brothers and sisters, look, we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come back with more interesting conversation. We'll be right back.
You are watching The Munir Muhammad Show, a production of Crow. Please take time to join us at Crow, the Coalition for the Remembrance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Crow is the National Archive of the Nation of Islam and houses one of the largest collections of historical, audio, video, and print documentation on the total black experience. Crow is located at 2435 West 71st Street, the corner of 71st and Crow Lane. We are open 7 days a week, 9 to 5. Our number, 773-925-1600. We look forward to seeing you at Crow.
I've always been a fighter. I came into this world at a mighty 2 pounds, 9 ounces, but I kept fighting every day to stay alive. The fight in me continued throughout my childhood and beyond. I always wanted to make a positive difference in the world and to help people who otherwise did not have a voice. Now I'm running for judge. We need judges who understand what it means to be disadvantaged and need a fair shake at justice. I'm ready to serve the citizens of Cook County. Vote for Deidre Bauman for Cook County Circuit Court Judge, the voice for equal justice.
This is Sister Sajda Muhammad. We are proud to announce that the Sajda House commemorative Elijah coins are finally here. As we renovate and restore the former home of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have recycled the old copper gutters and downspouts and created a 1 ounce 39 millimeter coin made of 100% pure copper. Each coin is professionally graded and has its own barcode and registration number. This priceless heirloom, made from recycled copper from the messenger's home, is now available at sajdahouse.com.
Eat and Run Chicken and Fish has the only chicken you can reheat and eat. It's good as mother's and better than the others. It is the chicken even mothers love. We've been serving the community for over 30 years. We cook with 100% vegetable oil and are open 7 days a week, including holidays. We're located at 87th and Hermitage. Contact us at 773-429-1812 for your takeout order, or let us provide all your catering needs. For the best chicken of your life, it's Eat and Run.
This portion of the Munir Muhammad Show is brought to you by East Lake Management, innovative solutions for building communities of the future today.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We are back continuing our conversation with our brother Joseph Williams. And again, this is a live call-in show. If you have a question or a comment about this very important and timely subject, you can give us a call at 773-434-6625. Brother, wanted to ask you, I know it's called Mr. Dad's Father's Club.
Yeah.
But if I'm someone who, my children are grown, I have time and more importantly, the desire to give back as an uncle or a grandparent, or even though I don't have children, can I participate?
Yeah, we taking
Okay.
you. We taking
All
you.
right.
Uncle, granddad, cousin, nephew.
Yeah.
We want you.
Yeah.
You know, even women ask that at times. They say, we know it's a father's club. Can we still get involved? Yeah. We got somewhere for you. We got somewhere for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of our volunteers sometimes are women.
Yeah.
They come out, they help us be organized while
Right.
we out there, you
Yes,
know.
sir.
So this is a together thing here we
Right.
doing. You know, we want to represent black men and fathers, but we also want positive male role models. So if you're a positive male role model, we want you. If you're a positive female model, we want you, because we still need our women. We
Right.
still need you. You know, so we want to make sure that we're doing it together still.
You know, I'm sorry, but I'm smiling because, you know, I was going to go into another line of question, but I'm going to leave it alone. But look, when you're doing this, tell me where you are now. What was your vision 4 years ago when you started versus where you are now? I mean, what was your take? Did you think you'd be here, brother?
No way at all. I didn't have a vision. My vision was to stay out of trouble and to find a way to just tap into children's lives, because I knew that children are the future. So I wanted to do something around these babies to build them up. But you know, of course, as time go and we build the programming out, you know, ultimately what I want to see again is fathers get paid to help do this work so they can feed their families. And I think we can even get high-risk fathers off the streets and get them to tap into this program by compensating them and helping them out. And then go state by state. This program don't need to just be in Chicago. We need this program to be around the world.
Right.
Because this is really going to be a program that I think is going to shift the world when we're talking about fathers and their involvement in children and building family. This program is going to be a key, I believe, to that success.
You know, as Sister Martha said earlier, and especially as you work at CPS, there are very few black male teachers, right?
Absolutely.
But even, and I don't know the criteria for guidance counselors or just being there as support. Since you're there should be something, because you're adding value to the school and organization, and that might be something that you might have to pursue, those kinds of conversations.
I think it's about that time to start having those type of conversations. You gotta make it make sense, right? I got a family I still have to support as well, and it's something I had to learn as I continue to do my programming. You know, some schools, a lot of schools, they have funding. They have funding to pay us and to support us with the program. For me, I'm always putting the children first, so a lot of schools, they instantly put their funding in areas where they want it to go already.
Yes,
so
sir.
a program like mine to come along, maybe it's doing the best things ever for this school, but this school already invested their money in somewhere already. But for me, I just want to make a difference with the baby, so I come in and say, you know what, I'll do it for free for you.
Yes, sir.
But I have become a CPS vendor, so now I can actually come in and make funds to do some of this work that we're doing. And then maybe those funds can go towards the fathers. We're going to have to figure it out some way, but you're absolutely right. It's about that time to start figuring out how can we also support our organization as we do this work, because this work is work that it doesn't stop. This is 24/7. When we go into these schools, those classrooms are 25 to 30 children per classroom. We're doing 4 to 5 classes a day.
Yes,
So we're touching at least over 100 children a day going into these schools. So it's important work. We're giving teachers and everybody else the time to break away for a second while we come in and do this work. So it's a big support to the school system and everyone. And you know, the same way you have organizations like BAM and WOW and all these organizations, well, this is an organization that's tapping in with children at a very young age, and it's making an impact. So of course, we hope one day to have a contract with CPS where we can really contract a lot of these schools.
Let me ask you, what are the ages of some of the students that you'll do it?
So we read and do literacy. So reading and literacy is from pre-K all the way to 3rd grade. Then from 4th grade to 12th grade is more of the mentoring, group support, one-on-one mentoring, because we know once they start to get a little older, sometimes they need some one-on-one support, sometimes we can just do group support. And when we're doing that, it's all about bullying, financial literacy. We want to make sure that we're giving them tools that they can use. You know, even with our fatherhood sessions, we might call State Rep LaShawn Ford in. He come in teach them about the law, about fathers' rights, and get them all of the laws and different things that they need to know pertaining to that. So we also making sure that we bring folks in to talk to these babies as well. One of my favorite guests that comes in on a regular for me is Judge David Kelly. I was just talking about Judge. He comes in with his robe on. Sometimes he leave court and comes straight over to us, and the children get to see a black man that's a judge. Yes. You know, I can't ask for anything better than these folks that are helping me even make the program what it is, you know, because we have some very supportive individuals that are coming out and really making a difference.
You know, you mentioned your family and the support that you receive that helps you to do what you do.
Absolutely.
Talk about how important that kind of support is in this kind of endeavor, because sometimes you have children, they can be like, Dad, you know, you talking to them children, you could be here talking with me, you know, but just talk about support and what that's like. I'm sure you might have heard that once or twice.
I was just about to say, I say, well, actually, my children say that. My children say that. So, you know, but I'm helping my children see the bigger picture.
Yes, sir.
You know, my children see the bigger picture and they support me with this because I think you bring it right on point. But something that I decided to do this year, you know, I also serve on a lot of school boards. I serve on the board at Beasley as the PAC and LSC president. Then I serve over at Lindblom as the PAC president. Then I sit over all of the LSCs, giving advisory to other schools. So all of that here, well, I've done that now for 8 years, and this year I chose to walk away from it all. Yeah. I say I have to really prioritize my time, because I won't get that time back with my babies. Yeah. So while they're still young, I got to give it to them. Yes, so I said we're going to put God #1 in front of this, and then we're going to make sure that we're working with the family, and then we're going to do the organization.
Yes, sir.
So now that I've decided to break away and take this time away, I get to take my baby to gymnastics. I get to take my son to karate. I get to, like, you know, no matter what, we have us good times. Right? I take them. Last year we jumped in the car and just got to go on to different states just so they could see life and see different things, right? So I'm always gonna take them out and show them different things. But now I get to really just get in and get involved the way I would like to, because I'm not so consumed with so much other things.
Well, I'm happy to hear you say that. And that LC, I was a LC president. That's a real job.
It's a job, right? A free job.
Right, exactly. Okay, let's go to the callers. Caller, you're near. Go ahead with your question. Wa alaikum salam.
It's good to see both of you, man. I have not seen this brother since he was on the Mandine show, the radio show, almost a year ago now, I believe. And I admire your work, brother. I really do. And I want to know, what is the state of LSCs these days, because I don't hear much of it anymore like I used to. And what do you think is the impact of black men actually in the schools? Because I saw something on TV that turned the whole school around just by black men coming into the schools, walking the halls, and things of that nature, who were fathers of some of the students and stuff. And they seem to have turned that whole school around, because it was kind of a violent school and things. So I'd like your opinion on that, Brother Joseph, and great seeing you again. Your enthusiasm is absolutely infectious, my brother.
Absolutely. Right. Well, thank you so much for that question, brother. It is an absolute pleasure to even hear from you. I'll say this, LSCs, the goal is to continue to get parents involved. In today's time, parents aren't involved as they used to be. Some of it can be because of a pandemic. Some of it can be because they have to work. It can be many issues, but we don't have as much involvement as we used to have. But LSCs are very important. They play an instrumental role in our children's education, where we decide the budget. We decide if your children are going to be in uniform the next day or not. And parents have to get involved with this process, because they're making decisions about us. So you got to know what's going on. Even with school packs, they give you almost $4,000 to $5,000 at some schools just to spend on parents, meaning you can provide parents with workshops to get them engaged and teach them about things that maybe they need to know to help their children out with schoolwork. So it's a lot of things that are offered, but parents have to take advantage of it and get involved. So LSCs are very important. since Harold Washington had the ideal of implementing this into CPS, it's been a struggle because we know how these systems work, but we have to, it's sad because in our communities, we got to fight for something that you would think is common sense at times. You know, when I spoke not long ago last year, I said, we faced a pandemic. Before we entered this pandemic, schools had already had infrastructure issues. Schools already had lead in the water. We already been dealing with old books. We've been dealing with the worst of the worst. And, you know, it's sad that it took a pandemic to highlight some of these things, but we got to continue to fight for just what's right. I'll say at Beasley, me and a few parents went down there. We got a multi-million-dollar playground built in the back of Beasley when it was nothing but dirt and trees back there. So it shows when you organize, you come together and you fight for what you want, you can get it at times. You know, and beyond Beasley and some of the other work that we're doing, just recently, I sit on the LSCAB, which is the Local School Council Advisory Board. That's over all of the LSCs. I sit as a member on that board, and for the first time since '96, I introduced a health and safety subcommittee to the board, and it passed by a majority. This now provides a voice for parents and community to come in and talk about things that's happening at their schools around health and safety. First guest was Dr. Awadi. Now we get to bring in folks, the safety and security chief. We bring them in, we ask them questions, and we say, hey, and they have to answer to us. So we're building that transparency piece and doing that. And lastly, I'll just wrap up with the men involvement in schools. Sometimes you can have so many great women and you can have tons of them in these schools to support our children, but ultimately we got to make sure that we're balancing it out with men. Sometimes men have just a different touch on children. I can tell you, when I walked in the lunchroom can go crazy. During that time, we had a woman principal. She'd come in still trying to scream at the kids. I can go right in the lunchroom and raise my hand up. The whole lunchroom goes quiet. It's just a different response sometimes with men. So, I mean, especially if you're approaching it with a heart and with the intentions to make a difference. You know, kids don't want you to just tell them what to do. You need to get to know them, understand them, and then they'll do everything you want them to do. Yeah. So we just need more men. We need more men in these schools, and you bring up a solid point. That school that you're talking about that happened out of town, all it took was some good men to come together, and you saw the impact it makes. And we can do that around the world and in more schools. I think there's no doubt about it, we'll see the difference.
Well said, brother. You know, with that, we're going to take a break, brothers and sisters, and we're going to come back with more interesting conversation. We'll be right back.
I love you, Emma.
Searching for a restaurant that serves delicious home-cooked meals at an affordable price like your grandmother used to make? Well, the search is over. Stop by McAuthor's, the new talk of Chicago. We offer a warm atmosphere with friendly service and excellent meals ranging from carry-out, dine-in, or catering for your special events. McAuthor's is open 7 days per week from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. Come visit us at
5412
West Madison Street or call us at 773-261-2316.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We are back. I'm going to jump right back into the conversation, brother. We covered a lot about what you do, the importance of it, the impact that it makes. But one thing that we want to do is not only highlight where people can join you in this celebration. But we talked about support, and you need more to support than just good job and attaboys, right? So you do have a not-for-profit organization. It is 501c3,
Absolutely,
right?
we are a 501c3 recognized by the federal government, and to that point, yes, folks can definitely donate. They can visit our website. I always encourage folks to go to the website at MrDadsFathersClub.com. You can go right on there, and the donation link is the first thing you see right there to pop up with the fathers on there. And you can scroll through the page and see upcoming events and purchase our book that's out, and just you can even go on there. I think at the contact part, you can put on there something that you're interested in doing. If you want to volunteer, you might just want to volunteer to assist to help us be organized. You might want to come help us do classroom scheduling or respond to emails. You might want to come and do something you might be good at that you want to come do, and we're not going to tell you you can't come. So we're going to accept you in it. But the contact provides you the opportunity to sign up to volunteer. It gives you the opportunity to donate on the main page, and it's always good for donations because we're working on so many different aspects. You know, we even have a community garden that we just started on in Roseland out there. So now this is open for people to have events for free if they want to. They can go out there and learn about healthy eating and vegetables and growing. So we are working on multiple of aspects just for the betterment of our people. So yes, funding is always a plus because we need it to keep going.
Right.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah. And you mentioned, okay, on Sunday, June 19th, you're going to have your 4th annual event. And so talk about that event, what people can expect if they attend, and just, you know, let people know.
Whew, when we started this Father's March, man, to see where we are now with this Father's March, and every single person that's a part of this has usually been with us since we started it. And it's been absolutely amazing. Like I got Mr. Washington, when I didn't have a lot of funds, he'd bring everything he wanted out there, from bouncy houses to the whole setup, and to do it for a great price for us because he believed in what we were doing. So I say that to say is that this year's event, you can expect a ton of different bouncy houses out there. You can expect free food that's prepared by Chef Michael Earhart. You can expect ice cream trucks, free shoes, laptops, bikes. We're doing a lot of different raffles, games, activities. We're going to have a dunk tank this year. You'll be able to throw the ball and somebody going to fall in the water. We're going to be doing we're going to have performances. We got a dance team, MBM Dance, that comes out. They're going to put on a dance show. I won't give up all the surprises to the dance part, but it's going to be some few dancers and folks coming out singing and things. And I'll tell you, one of our biggest sponsors for this event this year was My Block, My Hood, My City. They stepped up tremendously for us this year. They called and they said, how can we support your Father's March event? And they support us in a way that we could not imagine. They provided stage. They provided resources for us to go out and purchase things. So usually we are always struggling. We do it on our own and always come out to be a success. But this year we actually had a lot of support with it. So I'm grateful for My Block, My Hood, My City. I'm grateful for Chicago Park District. Mr. Bailey over there, man, when I didn't have anywhere to have an event, his doors was open for us to have events. As long as you was doing something positive to make an impact, he had them doors open for us. So Mr. Bailey at Ogden Park, we just very appreciative of everybody who's helped make this a success. And we're going to have a lot of stuff. So if you come out there, there's no way you're going to leave without nothing. The first 50 fathers or men that show up, we got a very special gift for them. We put a special order in for the first 50, so they're going to get a big bag of surprises when they come out there. I can't tell them what it is, but there's going to be some real nice stuff if they come out. So, but for the most part, it's a nice family event. It's a peaceful event. Although we in Inglewood, it is good in Inglewood. So we're going to have some good things happening, and I encourage families to come out this day and take advantage of it. I can tell them this one, I'm actually going to give away 50,000 diapers that day. So we're going to bring some more diapers out just to give it away, but we're going to just give away tons of different things and feed people, dance to some music, and we're going to have us a good time.
What time is the event?
The event goes from 12 to 4. And it's going to be at Ogden Park, which is 6500 South Racine. And it's on Father's Day. And this year, again, this is our Juneteenth, because Juneteenth is on Father's Day. So we are doing a special edition. So everything you see out there is going to represent Juneteenth as well.
Okay,
So.
well said. And brothers and sisters, if you attend, it won't hurt to bring a Father's Day card to some of the fathers that's out there, too.
That is absolutely true. That is true.
Hey, brother,
yes,
thank you so much
man,
for joining
thank you.
us. Okay?
I appreciate you. Yes, sir.
All right. Brothers and sisters, I want to thank you all for viewing. And we talk about support. Remember to support us here at Crow, who brings this programming to you. You can find out more information about what we do by visiting our website at www.croe.org or give us a call at 773-925-1600. Thank you so much for viewing. I leave you with the greetings of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum.